We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
and I'm Jill DeWitt, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2241. Today, Jill and I are talking about the truth about cold calling, emailing, and texting for land and house deals.
That's a lot. like, is this going to be a 3-hour show?
No.
Okay.
No, you know what the show should be called? Here's the 4 ways or 5 ways you can contact a potential seller.
There we go.
There's only one that works.
Ask us how we know.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum, take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
Okay, so Tracy and Dave wrote, to all SFR mailing peeps, are you mailing where you can be boots on the ground only? If you've chosen a remote market, how are you managing the asset through the sales cycle? Are you relying on an agent, family, friend, etc.? We live in a seller's market in Washington and would need to mail remotely. How have you solved the asset management and remote SFR sale? ? All right, I'm so glad they're asking this. I have had deals come to me in the last couple of years, just deals often come to me that are house deals. And what do I mean by come to me? They're coming to me going, hey, Jill, we found a great deal. It's a house. It's in fill in the blank town and state. Would you do the deal? Would you be the bank and fund the deal? I look at the deal and I'm like, yeah, that's the first thing I do is look at the deal. I'm like, does it check all the boxes? I'm like, heck yeah. Next question is, who's managing the deal? I have an agent that we love and we've done 2 deals with her. Hold on a moment. It stops right there because you need a local presence in that town when you're managing something like this. It's not just rural vacant land where if there's a fire, great, now the brush is all burned away. That's my biggest worry kind of thing. Or nowadays flooding, sadly, something like that. But you need to have a local presence, someone that you trust, not an agent that you've done 2 deals with. That's not your person. Why are you saying this? Because here's why. They need to be there to handhold the seller. They need to make sure the seller moved out. You're probably going to need help dropping off a cashier's check to get the utilities turned on because the house is going to be vacant, right? While you're trying to sell it. There's all these little things. Oh, and maybe there was while you owned it, 2 months in, a hurricane went through and knocked over a tree, and they're going to be there to manage getting that tree chopped down and hauled off. Things like that happen, and an agent is not going to be that person for you. Maybe in certain situations, 50 deals down the road, and you guys are like buds, and and you guys drink together when they're in town, kind of thing, and they are more like that, and you pay them a whole separate fee to manage the property outside of their commission. I can understand that, but starting out, that's not the person you need. You need your brother-in-law, who will work like a crazy person for $5,000 when it closes, and make sure all those little things get handled. Go ahead.
Well said. Hey, the closer you can to align yourself with somebody you trust in this position, the better.
Yeah.
So you need this person. You cannot buy a single family residence effectively, in my opinion, or start a business to do it across state lines.
Yeah.
One of the things that really matters is that when somebody calls back, they're going to call back. The deal's going to go like this. Hey, I just received your letter and I had a life event. My husband's in the hospital. I don't know, you name it. There's some type of life event that's triggering this person's decision to sell. And so they're going to need a lot of attention. They're not going to say, yep, I'd like to sell on Thursday. Let's get the ball rolling. That person's going to say, I got to clean my house out. There's just, and you want to make sure the house is in good shape. It's not like a piece of land.
Right.
So there's a lot involved face to face. The people who are wildly successful at this business do it like this. The seller calls back. They say, can I meet you at 3:00 at the house? 4:00 would work better. Okay. I'm not going to be there myself at 4:00. I'm going to send my friend Jack, and he lives right around the corner from you, actually. And he's going to come over, take a look at the house. He's going to bring his wife, Janet. and they'll talk about whatever you need to help you facilitate this transition. I'm so sorry for whatever is going on.
Yeah.
And that's what has to happen in this business. There's nothing like that in land.
That would scare me too, by the way, if an agent showed up. I'd be like, well, who are they doing? You know, so. And
then it becomes, and I don't like to say this out loud, but I'll say it anyway, an appointment setting business. You know, you can hire a professional appointment setter. Some really successful real estate agents do this, where if somebody calls in, yeah, I'm thinking about selling my house. Okay, well, Sally, who you see on every 30 seconds on TV, she'll be over at your house at 8:30 tonight. How's that sound? Oh my God, yes, I'd like to meet Sally. That business model really works. Today's topic, the truth about cold calling, emailing, and texting for land house deals. So like I said, could be titled 4 or 5 ways to contact potential sellers.
True.
And one of them works, and that is sending direct mail with an actual number to offer the potential seller. Cold calling may or may not be allowed legally in the municipality where it's happening, but I can tell you this for sure. No matter where you're doing it, everyone hates it.
I was going to say, as you cover each one, can we talk about them in one by one?
Yeah.
Okay, so cold calling, that's what I was going to say. Who wants that and who answers that?
And what's the effective result rate?
And what's my often thing is too, what are you trying to do here? So you're cold calling a person, hoping you're catching them on a bad day. Basically. A, you're hoping they answer the phone. B, you're hoping they give you the time of day. C, you're hoping they will listen to what you have to say. And D, you're hoping this is the perfect time. For all those stars to be in alignment, I can't even imagine how long this takes. I would think the real numbers of cold calling, and I know people have posted them in social media, so go check those numbers, but I'm sure it's like I maybe get a warm lead every 2 weeks. I'd be lucky if I had that. And that would be sitting at a phone for 8 hours a day cold calling. Maybe they get someone said, you know what, actually, my so-and-so did just pass, or I did just lose my job, or my car just blew up, kind of thing. You actually hit me at the right time. I am moving back east.
But then you got to talk about price.
Yeah, you haven't even covered any of that. They don't know who you are, how it's going to go, what you do. You just happen to say, you thinking about selling your house? Well, first, and that was my other thing too. If you called me and I actually answered the phone and you asked me that question, you got to the bottom, like, hey, how are you? You own your home? Yeah. What's going on? Do you think about selling your house?
No.
For one nut, yeah, there's a number. Yeah.
Yeah, for $42 million.
Sure, got to make my moon number. You ready? Kind of thing. And how much time does that waste? Because you're going to get a lot of that. So to me, that ends not even just the legality, just the time and the energy and the expense to maybe get a deal, to maybe have the opportunity to talk to someone about a deal is just it. So maybe I do 2 a year at that. Heck no.
Nobody likes receiving those calls. Nobody likes making them.
Yeah.
And the technology for the rest of the things that we're going to talk about today is constantly changing. There's robocalling now because nobody wants to do it, which makes the recipient, which I am sure 99.9% of the people listening to this, and us included, are the recipient of that. It makes everyone livid.
Can I tell a story real quick? I have a cold calling experience story that was my job. I was like, I don't know, 19 years old. And I love to talk. I love talking on the phone. I love talking to people everywhere. We all know that. So, and I had to cold call. I'm like, oh, I can do this. I was used to I haven't even had some of my major, life sales experiences. I could do inbound calls all day long. Outbound suck. And like I said, you would think I'd be a good fit. So I had to call doctors' offices and sell rubber gloves. I am not kidding. So you think it wouldn't be hard. I know who I'm calling. I know who to I ask for the manager who's in charge or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And it's something I know they need. So it's like really should be easy and a good fit. I didn't last 2 weeks. I don't even remember how many days I lasted. I hated it. I just one day didn't show up.
Yeah.
And that was it.
There's no respect in that on both sides.
Yeah, it was awful.
Emailing.
Okay.
It's a little bit easier. In fact,
True.
If you're a data-driven person like me, what you're going to do is say, wait a second. So this is a data set. just like the land ownership, just like we do at Land Academy. All I got to do is manipulate this data set, get all my ducks in a row, and send them a bunch of emails. That worked until the anti-spam laws happened in the 90s.
True.
And now it's not legal for sure at all. I mean, how many, if you're old enough to remember what that was like, it's just overnight, for whatever reason, there were 1 million Viagra ads. Just, and the spam filters are amazing now, especially, that's one of the reasons I'm a huge advocate of Microsoft, because they work on this stuff minute by minute.
Yeah.
So,
It's hard as a business owner, though, because sometimes the people want our stuff and it doesn't get through because of the filters.
So emailing, it's not legal. And even if it does get through, I don't believe it.
True.
There's no real credibility. There's no established relationship. So that doesn't work. Texting is a worse version of emailing.
Texting's annoying to me. If I get a random text, like I do now and then, hey, are you thinking of, do you need HR help or whatever, payroll help? Look, just leave me alone. I have it all established.
Hey, just forget about this for a second. If you're experiencing a tremendous amount of cold calling, emailing, and texting, whatever your carrier is, they have a system for blocking and reporting it.
Yeah.
And so for years and years, I would never want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I can deal with this. This until recently, finally I'm done. Because it's happened every 5 minutes. Now I just report it as spam, and it really, really helps. Somewhere in a server, your phone number is getting identified as someone who's not going to put up with this anymore.
Right.
Texting, same deal. And so that leaves sending a letter. And every time I get into a conversation, a deep conversation with people who are a lot younger than me about this, they laugh. What do you mean you're sending mail? Like, how old are you to send a letter to somebody? Listen, it works. And it always has worked. Here's why. Everybody gets a stack of mail. All of it's garbage. But you get that one letter at the bottom that has nothing on it. All it says is to Mrs. and Mr. Jones. And up at the top it says Jack and Jill or Land Investment X or some number like that. They don't know what it is. So they open it. Mm-hmm. And that's the first, we're all in the business of, the world is in the business of get someone to click on my stuff, clicks. Well, that's the old school version of that.
True.
So if you put, hey, we want to buy your house, and big flashy letters on the letter, it's going to get thrown away.
True.
But if it's nothing, it could be a credit card, could be something. I don't know. I got to open it.
Could be my neighbor next door is about to demolish their house. I need to know that.
If they open it, and the first sentence says, we are interested in buying your property in Navajo County, Arizona for $3,422.82. That's the first sentence. A very material percentage of the people are going to continue to read to find out what that's about. They forgot they even own the property.
True.
I can tell you this for sure. They're sick and tired of paying the property taxes every year.
True. If they're not using it.
So it's very effective. We can bank on a 1% response to mailers the way that we do it. I don't mean 1% of the responses we do deals. I mean 1% gets responded to. Some people are going to say, you're the devil. Some people are going to say, $3,822 doesn't work for me. I'd like $10,000. A lot of people are going to say that. And some people are going to say, Jill, I'm calling you back because it's time for me to sell this piece of property. What do I do next? $3,800 sounds great.
What's the next steps?
You just don't get that first click open response in any of these other ways, number one. Number two, it's not legal. There's class action suits that in case law all over the country, and it's getting more prevalent. Yeah. Join us tomorrow where we discuss the truth about adding houses to your land business. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.